Hello, my name is Richard O'Brien of the Rocky Horror Show, and you're listening to the best mix on Hit Radio Antenna.
Hello, this is Madonna.
Yo, what's up? This is Nick from the Backstreet Boys.
Hi, I'm Alanis Morissette.
Hi, this is Cher, and you're listening to the best mix on Hit Radio Antenna.
Hello, wir sind NSYNC.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Somerville.
Hi, this is Natalie Imbruglia.
Hello, this is Phil Collins here.
Hi, I'm Robbie Williams, and you're listening to the best mix.
Hello, my name is Howard Jones, and you're listening to Hit Radio Antenna.
Hit Radio. Antenne. Der beste Mix.
Die Stars erleben sie mit uns.
Howard Jones, songwriter, singer, and composer, first entered the charts in 1984 with his debut album Humans Live. It instantly found its way to the #1 spot on the UK charts. Since then, Howard has recorded 8 albums that have sold millions of copies worldwide. He's played at Wembley Stadium, New York's Madison Square Garden, Live Aid, shared the stage with Stevie Wonder at the Grammys, and today played at a Kinderklinik, a children's hospital here in Hanover, Germany. The 1999 release of Howard's latest CD entitled People has brought in great reviews from the critics, and again, Howard sends his message through his music, encouraging you to look deep inside yourself and find out why you are what you are.
Together we can kiss the way the feel. Together we can wipe away the tears. Together we can strip down the barriers and be one. Let's get to know you well. Let's get to know you well. We can be, let's get to know you well. So we can be one, we can be one together. And don't you think now it's time we should be fair? Just wanna simply say, won't let you slip away.
A Rolling Stone Readers Poll once named you Keyboardist of the Year. You've also been named King of the Keyboards, Sultan of the Synthesizers.
Well, I mean, I it's just a question of emphasis for me, because when I started out, it was, I was surrounded by keyboards, and that was, a big thing. But now I'm sort of more concerned about the overall sound of everything, so the keyboards is one part of it, and it's not the dominant thing, and it's like, to me, it's like all about the arrangement and how you get everything to work together. So I mean, I'm happy if people still think of me as like that, but it's just in my own mind, I prefer the kind of the overall picture, the overall production.
You were one of the pioneers in MIDI, making music on your computer. What do you feel about the recent explosion in multimedia, digital recording, and people making music at home on their computers?
Yeah, it was interesting because when I started out, I got such a lot of stick from people saying, synthesizers play themselves and computer music, you don't have to do anything. Of course, that's not true. It's just another instrument. And I spent so many hours explaining to people that one day, it would mean that people at home would be able to make music very cheaply. And this has happened. This definitely has happened. And I think it's good. It's a good thing. I mean, there are drawbacks to using computers and synths as well, which have to be addressed. But it kind of applies to any instrument. Like somebody can sit down at the piano and play it very badly and play it like very unmusically, without any emotion and without any feeling, and then another person can sit down and play and it sounds, suddenly the instrument, it transcends the instrument and it touches people and affects people. And it's exactly the same with synths and any kind of music, really.
Did you start out making classical music?
I studied at music college, and I studied classical music for 14 years. But my only love ever was pop music and rock music. And I just thought the classical music, the training on the piano would help me with that, which I guess it did to a degree. So it was really just a means to an end. I was never wanting to be a classical musician. Who wants to play music by a bunch of dead people,
Before you became a pop star, you worked in a factory. Can you tell that story?
It was like a saran wrap factory, and we used to, I just got the first job that anybody offered me. Somebody said I wasn't particular about it at all. I took the first job, so I ended up staying there in the factory, and I ended up working in the office and ordering all the stuff for the factory, all the raw materials. They must have been mad to give me that job.
Were you singing on the job? Were you?
Well, no, I was falling asleep because I'd be working in the studio all night, like till 4 o'clock in the morning. Because it's the only way I could get my demos done. Then I'd come into work, at 8 o'clock, and then by about 2, I'd be asleep on my desk. So funny. But I did used to say to everyone there, one day I'm going to walk out of this place and I'm going to be doing what I want to do, and you should do that as well. You should, if you don't like it here, you should be working towards what you really want to do, because what's the point of being alive? And I did walk out, and I've never been back.
Most of your songs seem uplifting or positive in some way.
Yeah. Well, that's my thing. I want to write pop music that is very positive and encouraging and helps people to, overcome difficulties and have the strength to get through life and be happy with life.
Back in the world of disposable emotion, in the climate of temporary dreams, he wasn't looking for a marcher's bedpost, to push, pull and burst at the seams. I need an
Do you write these songs for yourself, or do you write them for other people?
When I'm in the studio, I'm thinking about the people who are going to be listening to this. And I'm thinking about, what would I like to hear? If I was having a bad time, if I'd just been given the sack and my girlfriend had just left me, and my friends started telling lies about me and all this. So imagine the worst situation. What would you like to hear on the radio? Well, you'd like to hear somebody saying,
"Lift me up."
Yeah, yeah. Things can only get better when it looks really bad. Everyone has the resources inside them to be able to turn it around, and I just totally believe that, and that's what I think. That's my role, in pop, is to say those kind of things.
No One Is to Blame. How did that song come about?
Okay, well, the inspiration for the song was I was in San Francisco, and I was going around doing promotion at radio stations with a guy. And a guy said to me, he said, "Howard, what do you think of all the amazing women in San Francisco? And they are, there's a lot, there's a lot of amazing looking women in San Francisco. There's no doubt about that." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "They're fantastic." He said, "But I'm really happily married to my wife Jan." And he said to me, "You can look at the menu, but you don't have to eat." And that was it.
You can look at the menu, but you just can't eat. You can feel the cushions, but you can't have a seat. You can dip your foot in the pool, but you can't have a swim. You can feel the punishment, but you can't commit the sin. And you want her, and she wants you. We want everyone, and you want her, and she wants you. No one ever is to blame.
I thought, I've got to write a song about this. This is too, that whole dilemma of the fact that you like and are attracted. We all like and are attracted to other people, and this dilemma is nobody's fault,
Right.
and getting the balance right between these things is one of the things we have to do in life, and so that's that song. It means different things to different people.
You can see the summit, but you can't reach it. It's the last piece of the puzzle, but you just can't make it fit. Doctor says you're cured, but you still feel the pain. Aspirations in the clouds, but your hopes go down the drain. And you want her, and she wants you. We want everyone, and you want her, and she wants you. No one ever is to blame. No one ever is to blame. No one ever is to blame.
Phil Collins sings background and helped you produce this one as well, right?
That's right. He plays drums as well. Yeah.
Did you always want to be a pop star?
Yeah, always did since I was really young. I had 3 brothers, and we made a band. You know, we didn't have any instruments, so we used to just bang on waste
Trash
paper.
cans.
But yeah, and we used to sing. We used to sing in harmony. And my brother had a guitar, really awful, terrible guitar, but he used to strum that. And I used to play a bit of piano, and so it was kind of a band.
What did your parents think about you taking on this music profession?
They just knew that I was going to do what I was going to do, and they kind of gave up quite early. I went to the Isle of Wight Festival in 1970 when I was 14 years old, you know what I mean? I said I'm going, and I went. And it's kind of from that moment on, I think my parents just thought, oh, whoa, we just better support him in what he wants to do, because we're not going to be able to really have much influence over him, because he's so determined. So, which is good. I'm glad they did that.
What are your parents doing now?
Well, my parents have always been really involved in, because they kind of run the fan club, and they are always writing to fans. My father does the internet stuff, the email. My mother does the post, snail mail, and so they're a good team, and they're kind of involved. They have through doing it for so many years, they've got friends literally all over the world. They know more people than I ever will through their connection with the fans. So it's good.
Your son is also heavily involved, especially on stage with you.
Yeah, he came on the whole tour, and he's never been. Well, he has been on tour with me before, but not when he can remember it.
Not on stage.
Yeah, and he filmed everything as well. We got loads of DV footage of the whole tour, which I'm going to edit together at some point.
You've had in the past quite a stage performance, including dancers and mimes.
I mean, one day maybe I'll reintroduce that element into what I do. But it seems that was of its time. Now I just want to really it just be music. The production doesn't really matter to me. It's the communication with the audience and through music. Quite an old-fashioned idea.
Let the people have their say. Let the people show the way. Every woman, child, and man has the power in this land. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let the people have their say. Let the people show the way. Every woman, child, and man has the power in this land.
Last year you did the 1998 Rewind Tour. Was that wild, touring with Human League and Culture Club?
Oh no, it definitely wasn't wild.
Was it? They were all in bed by 9. Lights were out at 10 o'clock.
No, well, I think, what we thought was funny was that a lot of the band members from the other two bands used to end up on our bus. It's like we became the party bus. you know, you'd wake up on the bus one morning and there'd be...
You wake up and Boy George is right next to you. Ah!
Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry?
There wasn't very much social interaction on that tour between the groups, which I kind of wish there had been more of. And it got a bit better towards the end, but, you know, this that English thing, isn't it? You know, you know, like if you were touring with a bunch of American bands or European bands, everybody would be hanging out together, but English, no, we don't associate with them. We don't associate with them. You know, it's pathetic. Yeah. I find it pathetic myself, but, you know.
What can you do?
What can you do?
When people think of the 80s pop culture, they think of wild clothes and wild hair, and they think of Howard Jones with his big, protruding, colorful locks of hair. Why did you change that image?
God, what sort of a person would I be if I was looking the same now as I did 15 years ago? I mean, what kind of sick person would I be? You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's like, you know, it's like saying, it's like, I cannot understand that thinking. To me, the worst thing that could ever happen to me is to stop. You know what I mean? Stop evolving, stop changing, stop trying things, you know, doing things different every year, every month. And to me, that's the most natural thing. To be actually frozen in time is like a death. It's like death. It's all about evolution. It's all about moving on. To me, all the time.
What kind of music are you listening to now? What CDs do you listen to the most?
The Underworld album. And the Madonna Ray of Light. First time I've ever liked Madonna, this album. I've never liked her before, apart from what she did in Evita, which I thought was fantastic. And then this album is just the album of the 90s. It really is. It's so good. And I'm listening to Fatboy Slim as well.
Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother.
I like that. And then Cuban music. There's an album called the Afro-Cuban All-Stars, which is absolutely great record.
What do your friends think of your music? Do they discuss it with you?
No, I presume they like it. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. It's like, do I like it? Am I proud of it? Do I like it? This is the only question you need to answer. You don't actually need to be concerned at all about what other people think. It's like the last thing. It doesn't matter. You know, are you happy with it? Are you proud of what you've done? That's it. Stops there. If you start listening to what other people think about you, good or bad, and I mean that, if people tell you you're great, don't listen. If people tell you you're crap, don't listen. You know, you only know what you think about it yourself, and that's all you need. That's all there is. And that doesn't just apply to music, it applies to everything.
Was your biggest goal always to be a pop star and make music?
Well, you see, I didn't set out to be. I mean, when I was young, I wanted to be a pop star, but then I refined the definition of what I wanted to do, quite clearly, and it was to use pop music to say something. I wanted to communicate something. I wanted to have a place at the table in a world where, where the only values that are kind of, celebrated are ones of materialism and sex and selfishness. I wanted a voice at the table that wasn't that. So I've never done any videos that have played on sex. I've never written a lyric that didn't mean something positive, and that's why I did it. I do what I do, and I want a place at the table. I want to contribute. I want to have a voice, and that's my motivation. That's why I'm still here. It's like 16 years later, because I haven't finished yet.
Most of your music is positive, but there's a few like "What is Love?" That's a bit depressing, isn't it?
No. How can a question be depressing? And it is a question. It's like, does anybody love anybody anyway? He's like, isn't it very important to define what this is, and like have a really good idea of what this idea of romantic love that is going to solve all your problems overnight. It's a very important question to ask, and I cannot see that as anything but positive. Everything should be questioned. And especially in a culture, a culture of pop music where every bloody song, is like, I'm gonna die without you, baby. I mean, to me, this philosophy is so stupid. It's so stupid. What? You're gonna fold over and die just because somebody doesn't like you anymore? Pathetic. And I'm not saying that we're going to feel bad when we get rejected or somebody leaves us, but it's like basing your whole life on what somebody else is going to do. It's like so daft to me. We've got to be strong people who can stand on our own 2 feet. And that's the only way relationships actually really work, is if people are strong individuals, know what they're about, know what they want to do, and then they become attractive, to others, and then you could have a good relationship. But to be in this promotion of codependency that is pop culture is like so stupid to me. It's daft.
recently canceled a U.S. concert date in Arkansas.
Because they changed the charity that they were support. They're going to support a children's charity on this event, and then they changed that to the March of Dimes, which and they fund animal experiments, and I won't have anything to do with that. So I've pulled out. You know, I mean, the people that follow me, you know, that it's not just what I think; it's what they feel. They feel really strongly about that as well. So I can't do that.
The bonds that once were welcome, you come to change with stars. When you cross that line, there's no turning back. When you cross that line, don't come knocking at my door.
One of your latest songs from the CD People is called "You're the Buddha."
I'm a Buddhist. I've been practicing Buddhism for 6 years, and one of the central things of Buddhism is, like, you know, the answers are inside yourself, not outside. So it's not, you know, it's not a God outside of you or some force or some philosophy or whatever. The answers lie within ourselves. And so I wanted to make the chorus a bit controversial, but very sincere as well. So, you know, you're the Buddha, you're the Christ, you're the Mohammed, you're the Mother Mary. In other words, you are all those great things. You just have to uncover them. You know, it's not this unattainable thing, which is a philosophy of no hope to me. You know, but in fact, all those things are inside you now, and you just have to uncover it.
There were times when I thought there was nothing in this world. There was nothing in this world for me. Everywhere I looked, there was trouble in my life. Trouble far as I could see. Hey, there's a man doing alright. What's this philosophy? He'd come over here and whispered in my ear. You're the Buddha, you're the Christ, you're the Mohammed and the Mother Mary. So who am I, so nervous and shy to be brilliant and talented? It's the light, not the dark, that frightens us most, and the power lies in our head. You playing small doesn't help at all. The world needs the things you give. Switch yourself on, turn the pressure on.
You recently did a Kosovo Aid concert.
Yeah, in Swindon, yeah. We just did something, it was like our own little thing, you know, with the band, and Midgeo played, and Mike Scott from the Waterboys played, and it was a really great event. We got about 1,000 people in, raised a load of money, and, you know, my drummer Kevin lives in Swindon, so we wanted to do it. We didn't want to do some fancy big London thing, you know, where you know, everybody does it because it's the right thing to be seen to be doing. You know, I hate all that. It's like, let's do something like somewhere local and get the local people involved. And it was really good. I can tell you, it was fantastic success.
Now it's our turn to give you some help. Fresh air, that's just what you need. Oh, it's just what you need.
The motivation is to be of use. Like let these songs be of use. We live in a sort of me world, don't we? And the trouble is with that me thing is that you just won't ever be happy with it. Because the only way I think you can be really happy is if you contribute to other people's lives. It's the only way. We can't actually do it, you know, if we just look after ourselves, we're miserable. But if we look after ourselves and others, then you've got a really good chance of having a good life.
You got the socket, I got the plug. I am the floor and you are the rug. I got the rhythm and you got the beat. We're feeding chickens from our souls to our feet. And you know I love you. You know I love you.
For more information on Howard Jones, visit the official Howard Jones website at howardjones.com. The Howard Jones Interview. Interviewed and produced by Evan McIntyre for Hit Radio Antenna in Hanover, Germany. Die Stars, erleben Sie mit uns.
Fantastic.
Until next time, auf Wiedersehen.
Was a time when there was nothing at all, nothing at all, just a distant hum.